So I have some great news, you guys. So for the last, I was coming up on 2.5 years for having my old YouTube channel, and for the last 2.5 years to 3 years now, I've been battling pre-diabetes. Now, it didn't start until I was like halfway through my way at the group home, and I became pre-diabetic because all the carbs, like every meal was nothing but straight carbs and fried food and onion rings and french fries and breaded food and like pasta and pizza every week, and like it was bad, and I would try to eat as little of it as I possibly could. But when you're eating nothing but carbs and you're on these antipsychotic medicines, it makes you very carb sensitive. So I ended up becoming pre-diabetic and gaining a lot of weight. I went from 169 to 210 pounds. And I spent the better part of 2 years trying to get that weight off. So over the span, not last year, because we're coming up on a year and a half that it's been that I lost 30 pounds. But when I was in Petersburg, I lost 30 pounds, and I've been here for 8 months. So a year, 8 months ago, I lost over the, I don't know how to do the math on that, but 8 months ago was the end of me losing 30 pounds over that previous year prior to this past 8 months. So I lost 30 pounds a year ago prior to this last 8 months. And it didn't change my pre-diabetes number. It didn't do shit. And even though I was only 1 point into pre-diabetes, I was like a 5.8 or 5.7. 5.7 was like the start of pre-diabetes with your A1C. And I was right at 5.7. And so they were like, it's slightly elevated. It's not like full-blown pre-diabetes. It's not an indication you're going to get diabetes, but it's going the wrong direction. Like, we want to go ahead on and get ahead of that and fix that. But, I did everything they told me to do. They're like, eat clean food, eat healthy, be wise with your carbs, like eat clean carbs if you're going to eat carbs, or brown rice. So I switched from white rice to brown rice. I ate a lot of protein. I cut out sugar almost the majority of the year, and I lost 30 pounds, but it still didn't change my pre-diabetes. So I was getting a little upset and desperate and trying to figure out what was going wrong and what I needed to do differently. So the doctor, I started working out. I started walking every day, which I have mentioned on this channel that I've been walking for the last like 5.5 months. And I had a check-in with the doctor, and he told me that exercise helps reverse prediabetes, which I did not know, because this whole thing is new to me. And I should have known, because my mom is diabetic, and whenever her numbers get really bad, she works out and it brings her blood sugar down. But I just didn't connect the two in my head, that you have to treat prediabetes exactly the same way as you treat diabetes. So I was like, well, what I'm going to do is, between now and my blood work that I get in another 3 months, because I had been working out for 2 months at that point, I said that'll give me like 4 months. That'll give me 3 months. What was it? It'll give me 3 months. I had been working out for 2 months when he saw me. So I said it'll give me 3 more months. And it'll be a total of 5 months of working out consistently to see if that brought my A1C down. So we got blood work last month, at the end of the last month, on like the 29th or the 30th or something like that. And I requested specifically, because they never tell you the results of your blood work unless there's something wrong with it. So I asked specifically to talk to the nurse and have her break down my blood work paperwork and tell me what my A1C was looking like. So I went in today to get my Aristata injection, which is for schizoaffective, because I'm due for that today, due for it tomorrow, but we went ahead and did it today because I wasn't going up to the group house tomorrow. And she told me my A1C was 5.4. So we went from 5.7 to 5.4 from working out in the last 5 months and eating clean and being minimalistic with the sugar and eating healthy sugars like fruit, but not a lot of it, maybe like 3 fruit smoothies a week. The only bad news, though, is my cholesterol sounds to me to be like stunningly high, but she's telling me it's not all that high. It's just we don't want it to get any higher. So good cholesterol is, the number is 99 and mine is 149. And she's saying that's not a bad number. It's just you don't want it to keep climbing. So I guess a really bad number would be like 250 or like 300 or some shit or something like that. But my cholesterol is high because animal protein is what she's saying really usually causes cholesterol, and smoking. So it's probably a combination of both of those things. And I have been eating a lot of meat. It's not red meat, but it's still a lot of meat. I eat a lot of salmon. I was eating a lot of chicken, like just plain boneless, skinless chicken breasts, and a lot of eggs. I was eating a shit ton of eggs. So I was like, I know eggs can be, they always say don't eat whole eggs because it can be very high in cholesterol. So I was eating a lot of eggs. I would put a lot of healthy food in it, like bell peppers and mushrooms, or, you know, a little bit of cheese, and I would keep it clean and healthy every time I would make it, but I was eating like eggs every single day. So I pretty much know why my cholesterol went as high as it did with all the animal proteins I was eating. But I'm thinking now that I'm going to start leaning more vegetarian. Vegetarian, continue doing my jogging, and cut back on the sugar, because I have now noticed that I have taken a fondness to light brown sugar in my coffee instead of white sugar, and not full brown sugar, like full fat brown sugar, just light brown sugar, and it tastes extremely sweet. And you can't tell that it's brown sugar. Like, it tastes just like any sweetener. Like, it's sweet, tastes sweet like regular sugar to me, but it takes a significantly more amount of it for it to get sweet tasting. So I'm ingesting quite a lot of sugar in the last like 3 weeks. So every cup of coffee, like for every cup of coffee I have, I'll try to have the next one be a black coffee, but I'm still having like 2 full sugar coffees a day. Sorry for the spit. My spit is thick in my mouth right now, but for every sugary coffee I have, I try to have a black coffee after it. But I don't always succeed at that, so my sugar level is just a little higher than I want it to be. So I'm working now to cut the brown sugar out and do my jogging and lean more vegetarian based, like more salads without meat in it or without eggs in it, just like cabbage and lettuce and like carrots and like just veggie based salads. Pre-made salads that they sell at Walmart and stuff like that, they're very good. They have like corn and like tortilla chunks in them, and like they're really good. So I'm most likely gonna just stick to buying those. Try and do that. But I just wanted to get up here right quick and share my good news that I am no longer pre-diabetic, and that only took 3 months. That was 3 months between my last blood work where I was still pre-diabetic and this blood work where I no longer am, and I've been working out for 5 months. So it took 5 months worth of walking every day for 30 minutes a day to get that number to reverse, along with continuing to eat clean and continuing to have minimal sugar in my diet. So I did manage to reverse that, and I am so happy about that because it had me really stressed out. I know it was only one number, so I wasn't stressed about the number. I just didn't like knowing that I was pre-diabetic in any way, shape, or form. And I was stressed that I had lost so much weight, which 30 pounds is not a lot of weight, but it made a big difference on my short frame. So having lost all that weight and like fitting in the clothes I hadn't fit into in a couple of years and all this stuff, and then still being pre-diabetic was like confusing to me, but I was not active. So that made all the difference. So just sharing my good news with you guys. So I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.